Ladies and gentlemen, the topic for the Truth Forum today is Reexamining American Justice. Reexamining American Justice. We all know that in the last 70 to 80 years, the international justice has been defined and claimed by United States. Whatever United States claimed or did is right. And whoever denounced by United States must be a bad guy. But in the last 10 years, we started seeing frequent distortions of American-style international justice. And we found frequently what the United States did is exactly 180-degree opposite to what she claimed. So we have to rethink what is the international justice, and is the American justice the real justice or false justice? In fact, there were several decades in the past that the international justice claimed by United States was accepted by the international society. But today's American justice is no longer credible. So there was a transition process for decade American justice. And I tried to divide this process in three stages. The first stage was around 1945 to 1980. In this stage, the American justice was generally accepted by international society. Then the second stage was around 1980 to 2010, and I call this stage the stage of transition, because the justice started losing its justification. The standards of international justice gradually turned blurred. And the third stage was from around 2010 to the present time. In this stage, the American justice already deviated completely from real justice, and United States government has become the biggest international liar. Actually, in the first stage I mentioned above, the American-style international justice was not completely justifiable. It was only partially or relatively justifiable, because even back then, United States had done many things unfair to the international society. But by then, United States had incredible contribution to the whole world, and also United States was incredibly strong back then. So almost no country had reasons, and no country dare claim objections to the system that United States imposed on the whole international society. Of course, United States back then was unprecedentedly rich and strong in human history. So she was nice and kind to the whole world. The core value of United States spirit was that the world peace and world order is parallel to the national interest of United States. So nobody doubted that United States back then established the great leadership in the international society. But as time passed by, the world situation gradually changed. The prosperity and overall strength of the United States peaked in 1980s, and many other countries gradually caught up with the United States, or at least United States' leading margin to other countries continuously narrowed. And the most obvious case was Japan. While Japan's GDP per capita surpassed United States in early 90s, 1980s, in early 1980s, the United States forced Japan to sign the Plaza Accord, with which United States stroked Japan to the ground and once for all defeated Japan. So Japan since then could not get on her feet again. United States striking Japan did not need justification because Japan had been under United States control since the end of World War II. So Japan cannot disobey United States while United States ordered Japan to sign the Plaza Accord. Then it came to the third stage, which was around 2010, when China's economy grew so fast and the growth of United States economy kept slowing down, near stagnation. So United States started taking China as the number one enemy whom United States have to strike with every measure she can. At the same time, United States financial deficit started shooting straight up. So she started robbing other countries. And her robbery was committed by two measures. On one hand, she uses her controlling power in the international financial market, including dollar standard and the privilege in World Bank as well as IMF. On the other hand, she pushed the whole world to the verge of war, so many countries have to buy ammunition from her. Because United States has been the largest country for ammunition exportation. Especially United States already lost most of the industries for consumer goods. So the arms sale has become the biggest industry for exportation for United States. Now let's look back to see how United States established her privileges in the international financial world. United States called for a financial meeting in the name of United Nations in the year of 1944 in Bretton Woods Forest Park in New Hampshire. This meeting was called Bretton Woods Conference, and there were financial officials from 40 plus countries participated in the conference. In this conference, three major decisions were made. One was to establish the dollar standard, and other two were to organize two international financial organizations, which were World Bank and IMF. And United States only pitched in 15% of capital in each organization. But both organizations carry a rule that any major resolution needs more than 85% votes to pass. So with only 15% investment in both organizations, United States have the veto power in both organizations. Though this kind of regulations are very unfair to other nations, but back then not any country have reasons nor strength to object these regulations, because United States was so powerful and also has undeniable contribution to the whole world since World War II. But these unfair systems have been operated in the international society for nearly 80 years. So we have to denounce the United States for controlling the whole world with unfair systems for so long. When Bretton Woods Conference set up the dollar standard, it was based on fixed exchange rate of 35 US dollars for 1 ounce of gold. But in 20 years after World War II, US dollars went through serious depreciation for 2-3 times because the total amount of United States short-term debts increased too much. So the whole world dumped dollars for gold, and this situation caused the further depreciation of dollars. So United States government announced the unhook of dollar and gold, and the unhook of dollar and gold should have meant the end of dollar standard. But United States immediately used her position as the biggest importer of petroleum to ask the OPEC countries to set up a new regulation in oil trading, which is all oil trading should use dollars. So with this new regulation in oil trading, United States reassured the continuation of dollar standard throughout the whole world. While dollars were tied to gold at fixed price, United States may suffer from serious financial losses when dollars fluctuate. But while dollars were unhooked with gold, United States was suddenly unleashed and started to enjoy the freedom of issuing dollars as much as she can, as she wishes. This is actually incredible privilege. In Chinese history, the privilege of printing currency by individual or a private sector was called the trick of 5 ghosts moving money, because when you have privilege to print currency, you don't have to rob or steal. You are like a man hiring 5 ghosts to move all assets of other people to your house. So today's dollar standard is the trick of 5 ghosts moving money played by United States to the whole world. I believe this is the real reason why United States have to suppress China so harshly, because United States cannot afford to lose her superpower position. In case any other country surpass her and cause her losing the superpower position, she will lose the capability and position to insist dollar standard. And once the dollar standard fails, the United States will suffer from unbearable financial losses because the huge profit she generates every year from dollar standard is too much to lose for her. Today I will put forward a historical incident to prove that American justice is truly fake justice. The incident I will bring up is the Cuban Missile Crisis, occurred in the year of 1962. While Russians were building missile bases in Cuba, and United States protested with extreme anger, the Russians refused to yield. Instead, they increased the deployment and even sent the nuclear-powered submarines to Caribbean Sea. And at that critical moment, while whole human beings were only inches away from the nuclear war, the President of the United States, John Kennedy, sent his kin brother, Robert Kennedy, to have an emergent meeting with Russia's ambassador to the United States. Then both sides reached the agreement that United States will remove the missile bases she built earlier in Turkey and Italy, and Russia will remove the missile bases in Cuba. So the truth was, United States built the nuclear missile bases in Turkey and Italy, aiming at Moscow 3 years before Soviet Russia built nuclear missile bases in Cuba, aiming at Washington, D.C. So from the world history of last several decades, United States has been always the first one to threaten others in the name of protecting world peace. But when her rival got even with her and threatened United States with same measure, United States will immediately denounce others endangering the world peace. If you go to Wikipedia to review Cuban Missile Crisis, you will see the result of crisis is publicized removal of the Soviet Union's nuclear missile from Cuba, and non-publicized removal of American nuclear missiles from Turkey and Italy. So, what is American justice? American justice is they always hide half of the truth and exaggerate other half of the truth. So the Cuban crisis was resolved by John Kennedy's determination and wisdom. And John Kennedy became the great hero for all Americans as well as the people of the whole free world. And the Cuban crisis also proves that the righteous will eventually defeat the evil. And of course, United States represents the righteousness, and Soviet Russia represents the evil. So today's war between Russia and Ukraine is nothing but the reprint of Cuban crisis. The same story goes again that United States is the first one to threaten others in the name of world justice or world peace. But when others fight back, United States will immediately denounce them as invaders or war criminals. But when we look at the overall situation of the United States today, we can easily conclude that the system of the United States is too old and beyond rehabilitation. The only thing you can do to her is to patch the holes and give her some new paint. Today, United States is still struggling for the last round before falling off the chair of superpower. She has to use all dirty measures. So she lies everywhere and every day. Today, when we are trying to unveil their lies, we need to break the axis of their lies. And the axis of their lies is the American justice. Because they always use the fake justice to call all allies to sacrifice their own interests to fight for United States interests. Okay, that will be all for today. Thank you very much.